Hello everybody. Welcome to New Year at Street School. This hopefully will be a year like none other that you've ever experienced, especially when it comes to your math. First of all, I want you to, first of all, I'm Reed and I'll be your guide through this experience. But I want you to look around at the classroom for a minute. Notice that there's very little math, if any math, that you see. What do you see around the class? Think about it for a minute. One of the things that ought to pop into your mind is you see a globe in the middle of our circle. And you also see a map of the world up on the bulletin board. Well, this is a very important message, because you need to understand that in this class, the world is our classroom. If you've not liked math before, if you've thought, why am I doing this? What is the point in doing any of this? Then this is the class for you. You know, math is simply the language of logic. And most math teachers approach the subject, and even the whole system of teaching math approaches it by first we teach you to add and subtract, and then multiply and divide, and then do fractions and decimals, and ultimately put things into, y is equal to mx plus b, solve for this or solve for x, and you get into your algebra. But everyone has the same question on their mind especially when they're teenagers, is why do I need to know this stuff? When am I ever going to use it? I don't see my parents using it. I don't see adults using it in the world. What's the point? So there is a point to math, and the point to math is that it is the language of logic and reasoning. So we're going to go to the other end of the spectrum, and we're going to look at logic and reasoning. But we're going to begin by thinking, what do I want to learn? And keep in mind that what you want to learn is an individualized thing. Only you know that. I can't tell you what you want to learn, but I'm going to help you along the way figure out how to learn it and put it in mathematical notation. Look at something else around the room. Notice that you're sitting around a conference room table, and you have group tables, work tables for group work. You also have individual workstations with computers. Now each of you are going to be assigned to one of those computers, and we'll get to that later. But notice that we've got the conference room, the group work, and the individual workstations. This is very much set up like a business. Now I was successfully managing for 25 years in business before I became a teacher. Now I was inspired to become a teacher largely because I enjoyed working with young people, their creative energy and their excitement and their willingness to learn, but also because I used to have, and I still have, a real difficulty dealing with authority and dealing with rules and dealing with the way things are always done. If someone says do it because this is the way it's always done, immediately I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it my own way. I wanted to have control, and I thought I could bring that back into the classroom, give you the control over your own learning. Now, it's set up like a business. I am not your boss in this structure. The way this is all structured, I am not your boss. I am simply the team leader, leading the team through a process of discovery. If you want to think about the whole school as a business, you could think of the fact that you are a worker in the business, and what you're producing, what you're creating, is education. You're creating learning. The customer you're serving is someone who looks exactly like you. If you look in the mirror, you'll see a reflection of them. That is your customer. So I ask you, what can you do to best serve your customer, which is yourself? You are your own customer. Your direct supervisor, who will be the one that ultimately determines whether you stay or go, or how you work out here. Your direct supervisor, consider to be your counselor. Your counselor is the person that if you're having any kind of struggles or any kind of issues, they'll help you through those and they'll guide you. So if I have an issue in any way with you as a worker, I am simply the team leader. I will simply be reporting, and I'm reporting regardless. I'm reporting no matter what. Everything that you are doing, I'm reporting it to your counselor. Positive, negative, whatever it happens to be. So I'm just matter-of-factly reporting it, and then you work through that with them. Now, having said that, I want to point out that we do have an area over by the door which has a chair and a little table there, and that's what I consider to be a transition area. If you are going to go speak to your counselor for whatever reason, and it would be preferable, if you know your counselor is coming, for you to move yourself kind of at a good timing, calmly, quietly, move yourself to the transition area, so when your counselor comes to pick you up, they're not walking into the classroom, they're simply open the door and you're leaving with them. That's what that's there for. If you, for some reason, become emotional in the classroom and you can't leave, or you don't want to leave, but you just need a place to gather your thoughts, you need a little privacy, it's also a place for that if you need to go use it for that. Notice also that there are healthy snacks at the back of the room, and there's a water fountain. And we're going to get to a procedure that you need to follow when you're getting to those. And of course, I want you to choose the proper timing for all of that. It needs to be appropriate. When we're sitting at a conference table, when we're up at the conference table, that is not a time to have snacks. You can have water, but I'd rather you do not have snacks when you're at the conference table, because we're going to be talking. You're going to be asked to respond to things, and people trying to talk with food in their mouth isn't very polite to others. When we're in group time, or when we're in independent research time, those are the times for you to partake of the food and drink. I will be looking for you to basically, and in each of our sessions, there will be something that you will be asked to do. Maybe it will be to write a journal entry, or to come up with a list of things, or to come up with something from a group discussion, a small group discussion. Whatever it happens to be, there will be some what we call an artifact, or some product that you'll produce. And I'm looking really for that product to be of good quality and to be produced within the time frame that I'm asking. I don't think that I'll be challenging you too much on that, and I'm hoping that by and large most people will get their artifact completed and then have a moment to grab a snack, grab some water, have a little bit of a break time, just sort of in the normal flow of things. Even 30 seconds or a minute on a break is very valuable in your productivity. But the productivity is important, and staying up with it is important. What we're going to do this first semester particularly is we're going to explore the world. We're going to write about the world. We're going to talk about the world. We're going to ask questions about the world and about things that interest you. I will be bringing up topics that interest me, but I expect mostly that you will be engaged in topics that interest you, and that you will be sharing your creativity with the rest of the class, and we'll all have a much deeper and enjoyable learning experience. Having said that, we are now going to have a class discussion over this. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.